Alright, you guys, welcome back to some more Clockwork Ley-Line. We are finally in Adelheid's route, and we're going to see where that takes us. Several days later. Since then, there have been a few minor missed incidents here and there, but nothing severe. Heidi managed to deliver her apology, so no further problems developed on that end. Oh, thank goodness. Our relationship returned to the way it was before, as though nothing had happened. Okay, that's not good. In the end, I guess her staring at me was just my misunderstanding. Sua has gotten a lot cheerier after spending time with Heidi. I'll come to think of it, there's still one problem left. Despite Amaro smoothing things over between me and Muko, she's still treating me coldly. A lot of things. It's nothing. Yeah, don't worry. Today I'm accompanying Rito to return and retrieve Mist to the treasury. She doesn't need my help or anything, but I volunteered myself because I wanted to get away from Muko's icy stare. As expected, Muko didn't join us. Amaro said he'd do something on his end, so I'll leave it to him for now. I like how she has the whole name. As we head towards the treasury, we come across Heidi, who seems to be looking for a book. She spots the mist in Rito's hands and her eyes light up.
その手に持っているのはミストかしら？ええ、そうよ。これから宝物庫に返しに行くの。少し興味があるわ。私もついて行って構いません？構わないわよ。それじゃあ一緒に行きましょう。はい。
I feel like our security here at the school is pretty lax if we're just letting anybody, like, you know, walk with us to the treasury. You know, these are supposed to be, like, important items, kind of dangerous items. Heidi nods and comes up beside me. I glance over at her, but I feel like she might freeze if our eyes meet again, so I immediately avert my gaze. Or maybe I'm the one who would freeze up. I shouldn't think about it, or I'll get too conscious of her. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds kind of like he's developing feelings a little bit. Are you interested in the treasury?
もちろん。その中にはきっとラ・クエスティア。おばあ様の思い出の品もあるんだから。
Ah, that's right.
それに、どうやってそのミストを宝物庫に返すのかも気になるし、一度見ておきたいと思って。
We throw it in the black hole, is what we do. I see.
この学園は今も様々な魔術が生き残っていて興味が尽きないわ。
I suppose it's only natural for her to be interested in magic-related things since she comes from a line of magicians. Yeah, I would agree. I think she just has a natural interest in these things. When we arrive at the treasury, Heidi's eyes widen in surprise. After all, you wouldn't expect the treasury to be a gaping hole in the wall. Not to mention that there's no way to see what's inside.
これが宝物庫。確か人は入れないのよね。どうやってそのミストを返すの？こうやって。
Rita takes a step closer and holds the mist up to the hole. It floats up into the air. Light extends out from the hole towards the floating mist. The light then carries the mist into the treasury. Also, I apologize, you guys can't see this for some reason. I don't know why.
これでおしまいよ。ミストは宝物庫へ戻ったわ。
Still mind-boggling no matter how many times I see it. And I still believe that there's more to this. I think there's some kind of plot twist that's gonna happen around this. But, you know, I could be wrong.
こうなっているのね。でも、普通に入れそうな感じですけど。
Wait. Freaking got fried like a fly. Heidi curiously approaches the treasury, but is immediately knocked back by the barrier and falls to the floor. I rush to help her up, but I suddenly realize I shouldn't be touching her out of the blue again. Right? Are you alright? I cautiously extend a hand to her. This much should be fine. If I can't touch her, I'll just wait for her to make the move. Heidi, still stunned, takes my hand and rises to her feet. When I see her nonchalantly grasp my hand like that, I can't help but find it odd. Doesn't she hate it when a man touches her, or was she only being considerate of me just now? Regardless of what it may be, I'm honestly glad that she took my hand. I like how there's so many misunderstandings from this now. When I look at her, our eyes meet. Here we go again. Once more, she's staring at me. My body shivers, I can feel my muscles tensing up.
どうしたらいいのかしら。これはどういうタイミングで手を離せ
feel like this is anxiety to some degree, because it's like, who thinks about it? Like, oh, how long should I hold his hand? Like, just let go when you want to. Just let it be natural.
もしかしてさっき手を離すべきだったの？絶好の機会を逃してしまったのかしら。
Like, Adelheid's the type of girl that wouldn't know the timing, and she would overthink it, and then she would just hold on to his hand the rest of the day. Like, oh, can I let go of it now? I don't know. Did I already miss my chance? Well, I have to keep holding it now, or else it'd be awkward. He might think I'm rude. Still holding on to my hand. It'd be awkward if I pulled mine back, so I keep it there. Why won't she let go? She's already gotten up, so there's no need to keep holding on. Wait, so does she hate this or not? Is this her way of telling me it's okay to touch her? No, I can't jump to conclusions. Is it a cultural difference? Yes, German people just love to hold hands for a ridiculously long amount of time. I'm racking my brain for differences between Japanese and German customs. I know Rito's been silently watching us. What is it?
それは一体何をしているの？
Don't worry about it. なんでもない。
何でもありません。
Oh, Frank, I was close. Heidi finally snaps back to reality after Rito's inquiry. We both look away, let go of each other's hands, and subconsciously move away from each other.
それじゃあ私はもう戻るわ。
I love how she just closed her eyes and, she's like, okay, I'm gonna go back now. I'm just gonna pretend I don't see anything. I'm just gonna close my eyes. Okay, thanks for returning the mist.
それじゃあ
Rito seems puzzled, but she nods in acknowledgement that our hands are no longer clasped. She leaves without saying anything else. Wow, that was about as awkward as it comes. Now there's just the two of us left here. It feels a bit awkward. I think it was awkward before. It was just the two of you. Silence will just make things worse, so I better say something. And now you understand why we can't take action until a mist appears, right?
話には聞いていたけれど本当に入れないのね。
When I see her nod and respond, I can feel myself regaining my calm. Not that I should have lost it in the first place. What am I doing? Anyways, the silence is gonna kill me, so there's gotta be something else we can talk about.
アーデルハイトさんのおばあ様がこの学園の創立者であるクラール・ラズリットと懇意でね。ところがそのミストにおばあ様の思い出の品が挟み込まれたままになっているらしいのだよ。それを回収したいとのことでね。
I love how she kind of like drags some of the last syllables, like "nondayo." I love it. It's great. Oh, what kind of thing were you looking for again? The one that got stuck in the mist.
ああ、そうね。コガも知っていたのね。もしかして学園長から聞いたのかしら。
I asked Rito as well. Was it called Ligustia?
ラ・グエスティア。
Is it
長い槍のよう
Ligustia
な
or
形をした
Ligustia?
巨大な音叉で
Ligustia?
対魔芸用の武器よ。その絵が取り外しできるようになっていて。
Oh, it's an anti-magic weapon. What? That sounds dangerous.
その中におじい様がおばあ様に送るはずだったリボンが入っているそうなの。
A ribbon. That's a surprisingly girly thing to put inside an anti-Nagi weapon.
ええ、そのリボンを入れたのはおじい様だったんだけど、それを知らずにおばあ様はラ・グエスティアをこの学園に預けてしまったのよ。先日昔の手紙が出てきてね。初めてそのことを知ったおばあ様のために大切なリボンを回収しに来たの。私、おばあ様にどうしてもそれを持って帰って差し上げたいのよ。
Seems like a lot of work for just a little ribbon. I mean, this is something I would have probably delegated to us, and then, like, hey, when you find this, hold on to it. Don't just return it right away. But it also seems like it's just an incredibly dangerous weapon to be having. So I have no idea how this is gonna go. Heidi looks happy when she says that. Rather than looking elegant and dignified, that happy expression suits a girl of her age much more. What kind of person is your grandmother?
ドロテアおばあ様のこと？とても厳しい人よ。でもそれだけじゃなくてとても優しい人でもあるの。人の思いをとても大事にするおばあ様だからこそ、おじい様の送ろうとしたリボンのこともたとえ何十年も経っていても諦められないのよ。
Yeah, like, I don't want to downplay the significance of this ribbon, right? I'm just saying, I don't think she necessarily needs to be here. I don't think it's so important that, like, she has to be the one to, like, retrieve it. I think if they just find the mist, um, based on the description, right? Like, they should be able to just hold on to it, and then she could come out and retrieve it, you know? Or we could just extract it.
ただの古い布だと言ってしまえばそれまでなのだけれど、でも私はそんなおばあ様の気持ちを大事にしたいと思ったの。
Though I do get the feeling that the reason Adelheid is here is not just because of this. I think it is going to be a learning experience for her. Heidi must love her grandmother dearly. Otherwise, there's no way she'd come all this way just to retrieve that ribbon. I think that's amazing. Not just her for still wanting that present decades later, but also you for coming to a faraway country to get it for her. Heidi blushes for a moment, but quickly turns away. She then begins to speak softly.
私幼い頃からたくさんの勉強をしてきたの。
Studied.
普通の学校で習うような勉強と魔術の勉強、それからバインベルガーのしきたりや教養とか、目が回りそうなくらい。
I can't even begin to imagine the kind of world she grew up in. I can tell it was a heavy burden for a child to bear.
自由になる時間がほとんどないことは不満だったし、それ以上に不安も感じていたわ。
Afraid.
私はみんなが思ってるような当主になれるのかなっていうこと。私、特別成績がいいわけでも物覚えがいいわけでもなかったの。一緒に教育を受けていたルイの方がよっぽど出来が良かったわ。
I don't know, Adelheid. It kind of sounds like you have ADHD. If you have a really hard time, like, remembering things and, I don't know, you kind of hyper-focus on things, but at the same time can't really focus on things very well. That's what it sounds like to me. I would know.
毎日勉強をしてたくさんのことを学んでいたけれど、いつも不安で仕方がなかった。私がバインベルガーの名前を背負わなければいけないのだから、私の行動すべてが加盟に関わることになる。本当に大丈夫なのかしらって。でもそんなことはお父様とお母様には言えなくて、だけどおばあ様にだけは言えたのよ。毎日お勉強ばっかり。私もう嫌。
アーデルハイト、あなたがそんなに嫌なのは本当にお勉強なのですか？
おばあ様、本当はそんなにお勉強嫌いじゃない。でも全部ルイに勝てないの。私本当にバインベルガーを背負える人になれるの？
ルートヴィヒはあなたよりも年上だから、同じことを学んで差がつくのは当然のことですよ、アーデルハイト。
でもきっとルイがお兄さんじゃなくても私みんなをがっかりさせてる。それが嫌なの。すごく嫌。頑張ってるのに全然うまくできないんだもの。私本当にみんなを守れるの？おばあ様みたいになれるの？
アーデルハイト、
もしなれなかったらどうしよう。おばあ様、どうしたらいいの？このままずっとこのままだったら。
アーデルハイト、あなたの役目はとても大事なものなのですよ。バインベルガー家の誇りも血も力も、あなたはいずれすべてを守る立場になる。今学んでいることはその時に役に立つことばかりだということは分かっていますね。
はい。
でもね、お勉強よりも成績よりも一番大切なことは、あなたが心からバインベルガーを守りたいと思うことなのです。あなたは誰に言われなくてももうそれができている。だからアーデルハイト、何も不安があることはありません。
でも
みんながあなたに厳しくするのは、あなたがそれをやり通すことができる強い子だと知っているからです。私のような普通の子にもできたのだから、あなたのように素晴らしい子にそれができないわけがない。
Adelheid as a child was pretty cute.
私もおばあ様みたいになれる？
ええ、もちろん。あなたなら私以上になれるに違いありません。だって私も小さい頃は家始まって以来の不出来な子供だったんですもの。
本当？おばあ様が？
そうですよ。あなたから言うとね、同じ頃の私に比べればあなたの方がよっぽど勝っていますよ。
優しくそう言ってくれたおばあ様はとっても眩しく見えたわ。
Seems like Adelheid's had a lot of responsibility that was kind of pushed onto her from a young age. I mean, it's nice that her grandmother was like so encouraging though, and it seemed like she wasn't really like a very special child either, and it seemed that she went on to do pretty amazing things, and then she had those expectations for Adelheid as well, that she could do that, especially because she said that she's even more special than she was. It's nice to get her backstory a little bit. I've been kind of waiting for this moment, that we kind of like understand a little bit more about how she became in the position that she is. I think there's still more to that story that we're gonna get to see, but at least we're starting to get there, which is nice.
私もこの人のようになりたいって何度も思ったの。
Heidi's smiling face looks very gentle. Her grandmother must have had a large influence on who she is now. After hearing that story, I wish we could do something with that ribbon sooner. I glance at the treasury, but it's impossible for anyone to enter the treasury. What if that mist never comes out? It wouldn't be reasonable for you to stay here forever until it does,
も
right?
ちろんよ。あまり長い間本国を留守にするわけにもいきませんし、そこは理解しているわ。そうならなければいいけれど、その時はこの宝物庫に入る方法を探すだけね。
How are you gonna manage that? When I ask that in surprise, Heidi looks towards the library. The library contains a huge collection of books. It'd probably take more than a lifetime to read them
今
all.
はあの図書館の書物を調べているの。まだ取り出す方法は見つかっていないけれど、でもあれだけの書物があるのですから、どこかにヒントくらいはあるかもしれないわ。
What if you still can't find a way to get to the
その
nest?
時は別の場所に何か手がかりがないか探すわ。もしくは私の力で宝物庫の結界を破る方法を探すわね。
I see. She's like a completely different person from the one who was panicking in my room. There's a certain radiance about her. Well, I understand that you love your grandmother very much. After all, you came all the way to the middle of nowhere for her
あら、
sake.
誤解しているわよ、子が。確かに私はおばあ様のことを大切に思っているけれど、
Huh?
たとえ探している品がおばあ様のものではなかったとしても、それがバインベルガーの家の誰かのものならば、バインベルガーの家のすべてを守り導くのが私の役目ですから。誰だって。
Yeah, you're right. I have nothing to say to that. Treasuring your family is only natural. But the only family I have left is Michiru. The family that Heidi is talking about is at least a couple orders of magnitude larger. There must be a lot of people in the Weinberger family, right?
そうね。分家も含めると確かに多くなるわ。でも一族すべてを守るのは当主として当然のことよ。もちろんバインベルガーにとって一番大切なものは本家の血筋ですから、それは最優先にしますけれど。
You can see Heidi's confidence and pride in her boast. She must truly cherish her family and has dedicated herself to protecting them. And then there's me, who already has his hands full with just Michiru. It fascinates me that she could be so calm and composed about it.
なぜまた見つめられているのかしら。私何かおかしなことを言った？
Adelheid, sometimes people stare because they're thinking, okay? They're not necessarily looking at you, like, analyzing you. They're just kind of staring off in the distance and you so happen to be there.
もしかして調子に乗ってしまって自分のことばかり話しすぎたのかもしれないわ。呆れられてたらどうしよう。どうしたら。
After a while of silence, Heidi starts fidgeting again for some reason. She starts backing away from me towards the treasury. Hey, watch out! Barry repels her again, she falls on her butt. She seemed to have it together, so why does she suddenly do that? I extend my hand to her again, she looks startled. Still, she takes my hand and gets up. This time, I let go first to avoid a repeat of what happened earlier. I hope Ligustia comes out soon.
それはもちろん。一刻も早くおばあ様に届けて差し上げたいもの。
Yeah. Heidi? Heidi suddenly stiffens up after I agree with her. Did her brain stop working like it did when our eyes met? What if... Guess not, something's off. Her behavior is definitely different this time. Her eyes look like she's been jolted by something big. My voice came out soft. I have no idea what's causing her to be like this. It could be something I said, right? Heidi trembles without answering. There's clearly something wrong. Hey, what's wrong, Heidi?
何がですか？
That's what I'm asking you. Did something happen?
何でもありません。
Even if you say that, there's no way.
私、失礼します。
Okay, what the hell is going on? Heidi runs out without telling me anything. Something must have happened for her to suddenly become like that, but judging from her tone of voice, she wouldn't have told me anyways. There's no way it was nothing. Should I chase after her? But even if I caught up to her, I don't think she'd be willing to talk. That's how determined she sounded. I'd never heard that tone from her before. It's a complicated, agitating feeling, even though she was saying so much about herself. In the end, there was nothing I could do. It feels annoying, like I failed at something. I sigh and head back to the library. Okay, what? Can I have that explained better? What was going on right there? He said he feels like he failed at something. She had like a glitch or something. She's kind of short-circuited. I don't know. I definitely think we're gonna get that explained to us in a little bit, but I'm like, why would you do that to me? Why would you throw that out and then not tell me what's going on? I left the treasury and returned to the library. Naturally, Heidi was nowhere to be seen. I should have known better since she was running so fast, but I'm still a little bit disappointed. Actually, this isn't the time to be getting depressed over something small like that. I pass through the bookshelf searching for my target, and I find Louie. He's reading a massive book as usual. As I approach him, he closes the book and looks at me. Did Heidi come by here?
いいえ、フラウが何かまたご迷惑をおかけしましたか。
I like how he either asks if something happened to her or if she caused trouble. It's either one of those two. No, it's not it. We were talking for a while just now, but she suddenly started acting strange. Can't you be at least a little concerned about
フラ
her?
ウがおかしいのは何も今に始まったことではないでしょう。
He probably thinks it's just because that she's in love with him that she's acting strange. But there's more to it, Louie. I need your help here. Louie laughs it off, but knowing how she was acting, I can't treat it as a laughing matter. That's not it. It was different from the usual. It seemed serious, otherwise I wouldn't be asking you.
なぜそんなことに。
I don't know why exactly. It was just in the middle of our conversation. Louie stops laughing and returns to his serious expression. He stares right at me.
話をしていたと言いましたが、
We were talking about the mist that you two are looking for and why, and then she talked about the Weinberger
具
family.
体的にはどんな話を。
She said that her grandmother's ribbon was inside the mist and that there's a memento she's looking for. She also mentioned how much she treasures her grandmother and the Weinberger
フラウの
family.
様子がおかしくなった前後はどういう話題でしたか。
She got knocked back by the treasury's barrier and fell on her rear. That's right, she said she wanted to bring Ligustia back to her grandmother as soon as possible. All he said was yeah, and then she suddenly, after that, she started acting weird. It wasn't supposed to be an unusual remark, so I don't know if that was truly the cause. Maybe she suddenly remembered something important. However, Louis seems to understand something
な
here.
るほど。では、今更になってようやく気づいたのか。
You have an
わざ
idea?
わざお伝えいただきありがとうございました。フラウを探してきますので失礼いたします。
Okay. Louis bows, places the book back on the shelf, and leaves. Did he figure something out from what I said? I'm curious, but it's probably better to leave it to him. I wish I could help somehow, but I don't think there's anything I could do. It's kind of vexing. I wonder if the grandmother's not going to be alive when she gets back. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out as a guess. But I don't know. Maybe it's something that's going to help her connect with her grandmother, even though she's going to be gone. Because she seemed like she was pretty old in that flashback we saw. Just kind of based on the hand and her voice. So I'd imagine she's really old now, if she already seemed old in that flashback, because that looked like it was at least probably 10 years ago. After returning to my room and flopping onto the bed, I hear Louie returning as well. I still don't feel like lifting my head. Yeah, there's got to be something to do with that. Some reason why her grandmother wanted her to go grab that.
Koga が心配していたぞ。今回はどこのどの部分がお前の気に障ったんだ。だいたい察しはつくが、一応聞いておいてやる。
I want to know what Koga said, but I still can't bring myself to get up. As though losing patience with me, Louie approaches the bed. Hearing the footsteps, I slowly lift my head and look up. Louie is watching me in silence. No words are spoken, but Louie's face screams, "Tell me what happened."
彼と古賀と話していて気づいたことがあるの。
なんだ。
ドロテアおばあ様のためにはラクエスティアが1秒でも早く現れてくれた方がいい。
She dying? Okay, so I was kind of in the right track. Maybe she's not going to be passed away by the time she gets back, or maybe she will be. But at least she's probably not going to live that long.
でも、そうして目的を達したら、私はドイツに帰らなくてはならない。
当たり前だろう。何を今さら。
それに気づいたとき、私は一瞬でもラクエスティアが出てこなければいいのにと思ってしまった。このままずっとここにいられればいいのにと。そんな自分が許せないの。本当に何のためにここまで来たのか。
Okay, so it's conflicting in the sense that she knows she needs to retrieve it for her grandmother as soon as possible, but at the same time, retrieving it means that her journey here is over, and that she'll have to return. And she's actually been enjoying herself and probably growing a lot as a person since she's been here at this school. And then, you know, part of that's probably that she has feelings for Koga as well. But, you know, I think that's kind of obvious. I don't want to point that out as my main reasoning for thinking that. I just think she's just genuinely enjoying being here altogether. I look away after saying that and bury my face in the sheets again. Of course, Louie would be displeased to see me like this, but I'm already displeased with myself, and I hate it. Why do I have to feel this way?
魔術が残っているという場所だから興味はあったわ。でも一番はおばあ様を喜ばせるためだったはずなのに。
I think if your grandmother really cares about you, really thinks that you're a special person, she would care about your happiness the most. In a way, you being happy and you being successful and growing into your role as the head of the Weinberger family is gonna be what gives her meaning and joy in life.
なのに私はなんという自分勝手な気持ちを持ってしまったの。
My heart aches with every word, and my selfishness and irresponsibility makes me want to cry. But I know that nothing will change, even if I do.
一瞬でも心配をして損をした。お前のその潔癖さはもはやバカをはるかに通り越してそのまま世界一周しそうなレベルだな。ああ、もうくだらなすぎてめまいがしそうだ。くだらない
ってどこがよ。私はい
ちいちこんなくだらんことを俺に説明させるな。
In my rage, I sit up on the bed and Louie leans close to me, scowling. Rather than being displeased, Louie seems angry.
お前の言うそれはドロテアの件とは全く別の問題だろう。なぜそんなことくらい理解できない。だ
って私はおばあ様が私たちの帰りを待っていることを知っているのよ。それなのに私出てこなければいいのにって思ってしまった。私はおばあ様をないがしろにしたのよ。
In response to that, Louie sighs, arms crossed, shaking his head.
救いがたいアホだな。
何その態度。私ものすごく悩んでるのに。何よ。
I'm so frantic I could jump down from the bed, but Louie quietly continues to look at me. I see a face of utter disappointment. What did I do to deserve this treatment?
説明するのが心底バカらしい。
ちょっと、どういうこと？さっきから何を言ってるの？
それすらお前は分かっていないんだな。
だから、どういうことって聞いてるの。
はあ、本当に分からないのか。
わからないから聞いているの。どういうことなのか説明してちょうだい。
Louie looks disgruntled as though he doesn't even want to look at me. However, after another long sigh, I finally get my explanation.
ドロテアを軽んじたのではない。お前にとって古賀がドロテアと同じくらいに重くなっただけのことだろう。それのどこが問題なのか、俺にはさっぱり理解できないが。
My mind goes blank, never having expected to hear those words. Koga and grandmother are equally important to me now? Wait, what does important mean here?
お前のそれはドロテアとは関係なくただ単に古賀との別れを惜しんでいるだけの話だろうが。
どうして？
I ask since I don't really understand, but Louie grimaces and points a finger at my face.
いい加減にしろ。そんなことまでお前は俺に説明させるのか。少しはその足りない頭で考えたらどうだ。
I'm guessing where he's going with this is that you love them both, because he said they're both equally as important to you, and obviously she loves her grandmother. Can't argue back, so I just stay quiet. I've always been like this. If Louie doesn't scold me like that, I can't think properly for
あとそれか
myself.
らせっかく古賀がお前を心配してくれたんだから、すみません、ただの勘違いでしたと早く言ってこい。
Oh gosh, she has to apologize again. You know how well that goes. Still angry, Louie forces me up from the bed. I'm dragged to the door and shoved outside.
いいから早く言ってこい。ちゃんと謝れるまで帰ってくるな。
I feel like this is an example of Louie's tough love right here. Like, this is something a parent would do for their child. Like, okay, don't return until you've done the thing I asked you to do. Not only did I get kicked out of the room, Louie didn't give me a proper answer. I guess I have no choice but to do as I'm told and find Koga. My chest feels slightly warm when I think about Koga. Is it because my reluctance to leave that Louie was talking about? I'm still not sure. More importantly, I need to clear up this misunderstanding first, since he was worrying about me. Of course, he would have found it strange when I ran off like that. I caused him trouble again, so I have to apologize. My objective has finally settled in. I raise my head, stand up straight, and begin to look for Koga.
しかし、まさかここまで本気になるとはな。いや待て。よく考えてみれば、これはこれで。
After our conversation with Louie, I returned to the bureau. It was another uneventful day, and soon enough it was time to go back to the dorms. I was worried about Heidi, but it looked like the butler had an idea of what was wrong, so he should be able to take care of it. Despite that, I'm still wondering if he was able to find her and talk to her.
ミッチー、考え事？
Well, yeah, kind of.
さっきからなんかやけにぼんやりしてるもんね。
Really?
そうだよ。牛尾さんも気にしてたみたいだよ。
Ushio is worried about me. What the? Nuko's been as cold as ever, so even if she's worrying about me. Then again, she was the first one out the door today. She's always in such a bad
牛尾
mood.
さん？
Who else? I wish she'd just stop glaring at me like that. I already told her it was a misunderstanding. I think it's because Ushio has feelings for you too, and you're getting kind of close to another girl. I mean, obviously she'd be jealous. As we're walking, I spot Heidi further down the path. When she notices us coming, she starts looking around anxiously. Was she waiting for me? That would mean that Louie managed to talk to her. She seems a bit nervous, but the somber mood from earlier is gone. That's a relief.
あれってハイジさんだね。
Yeah, maybe she has business with us. Let's go see. I think she has business with you, my guy. We approach her, and she turns to look at us, fidgeting all the while. Yo!
こんばんは、ハイジさん。
My name's Koga Michiru. Yo. Heidi stiffens up the moment we call out to her.
古賀にお話があるの。
Heidi stares straight at me, and now I'm the one feeling nervous. What was up with her earlier? Did Louie talk to her? Is she okay? There's a lot I want to ask, but Heidi came to me on her own, so I should wait and see. I'll keep my questions to myself. What did you want to talk about?
それは
Upon hearing Heidi's nervous voice, Amaro reacts as though he's realized something. He smiles warmly and slaps my
ミッチ
shoulder.
頑張って。俺先に帰るからね。
Dang. Kotaro. My guy. Okay. Huh? There's no need.
いいから。じゃあまた明日ね。
He's a good friend. He realized that there was something going on here. He recognized that, you know, he wasn't needed. He's like, okay, I'll see you, buddy. Amaro cheerfully runs off. That's a good wingman right there. He realizes when he's needed, and then he leaves when he's not. Having been left behind, the two of us glance hesitantly at each other. I really do want to know. Hey, did something happen earlier? Are you okay? In the end, I couldn't wait any longer. Heidi shrinks back as though she feels extremely guilty about
それは
something.
そのただの勘違いでした。
A misunderstanding.
本当にごめんなさい。
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to apologize. I'm curious to what exactly was misunderstood, but as long as there's no issue, that's fine. Her expression was so grave that I was really worried. Did you come here just to tell me that?
ルイが
Oh, I see. Well, I was the one that asked Louie to check up on you. That butler has a dutiful side, after all, considering he sent her
あ
here.
のルイに頼んだって
Nothing much, just to check up on how you were doing. What do you mean? Anyone would have been worried seeing you suddenly make that face. Were you not aware of it?
心配私のことを
Yeah. You didn't look like you wanted to talk to me at all, though, so I told Louie you were acting strange.
私本当に古賀に心配してもらっていたんだわ
Yeah, that's what friends do when they see another friend having troubles. Heidi's expression changes again and again. From spacing out with her mouth agape to impatient fidgeting to a happy smile to nervously averting her gaze.
不思議な感じ嬉しいようなこそばゆいような古賀が私のことをそんなに心配してくれていたなんて鼓動が速くなってるわそれにちょっと体温も上がっているかも私
What's wrong? Heidi suddenly crouches down, puts her head in her hands, startling me. Should I have not mentioned it to Louie?
そんなことないそこはむしろ嬉しいわだって私のことを心配して私のことを思ってくれてルイに頼んでくれたんですものそうなのよね
Alright then.
でもさっき誰だって心配するってということは別に誰でもよかったのこんなこと気づかなくてよかったのに
What?
誰でもよかったの
What are you even talking about?
私のことを心配してくれていたのではなかったの
I already said that I was. Heidi remains quiet with a mixed expression of delight and embarrassment. I feel like I have no idea where this conversation is trying to go. Watching Heidi's revolving expressions is amusing, but can you try to calm down for now?
こんな状態で落ち着くのは不可能です
Huh? What should I do then?
どうって
Heidi is blushing again for some
少
reason.
し待ってくださる
I nod, and she breathes a sigh of relief. I really want to know what she's thinking, but she asked me to wait, so all I can do is wait patiently for her to speak.
鼓動が全然収まってくれない私どうしようどうしたらいいの古賀は待ってくれると言ったけれどいつまでもこうやって考え込むわけにはいかないし落ち着いて落ち着きましょうさっき古賀もそう言ってましたしそうよ落ち着くのがまずは必要なのよ
She eventually starts taking many deep breaths. As she relaxed a bit,
大丈夫あとは古賀に言いたいことを整理してとりあえずそう心配してくれてありがとうそうよねまずはお礼を言わないと素直な気持ちを そのまま率直に言えばいいんだわ。
You know, I think honesty is a good policy. Heidi stammers at first, but what she says next comes out
あ
smoothly.
りがとう。
Yeah,
あ
anytime.
なたのことが大切です。
What comes out after being thanked catches me by surprise. Then the reason why she was staring at me was really because...
間違えました。今のなし。今のはなしです。
Huh? Before I could fully grasp what she said, Heidi panics and fervently shakes her head. No, don't backtrack. That was great. You should tell him that you really value him, right? That he's important to you. Well, she's a foreigner after all. It's not strange for her to phrase things the wrong way. I'm aware of that, but she really shouldn't be making those sort of mistakes at times like this. Of course, I'm glad that she thinks positively of me. Just a bit of a shock to have her immediately take it back. It's a feeling of disappointment and loss, as though a delicious meal was placed before me and then removed before I could take a bite. That's a certainly interesting way of phrasing that. No, calm down. Heidi must still be having difficulty with some Japanese expressions.
なしです。
Nope.
はい。
That would have been so great, though. I think this was the right timing to do that. To say, like, hey, I genuinely, like, appreciate you. You've had to put up with a lot of stuff I've done. I mean, you could have spinned that in a way that wasn't even, like, a confession. I mean, if you really wanted to. I mean, you could definitely make that into a confession, and you should have. But they'll work it out. I have faith in them, guys. I do. I really do. But you shouldn't say things like that to Kai.
どうして？
Well, to give us weird expectations. Kai's face turns bright red. It was already flushed before, but now it's so red that I'm afraid she might collapse.
あの、
Oh?
期待していいから。期待してください。
What, she wanted me to forget what she said earlier, but now she's saying... Now she said something like that again. I seriously can't figure out what she's really thinking. She suddenly said I was important to her, and then it was a mistake, and now, what does she mean by expect something? Maybe she means that she's going to repay me somehow for causing me trouble. I can't be sure of that either. Our communication has been far from clear. I should just ask her to be frank. All I can think of right now is the stupid "is she into you" video. Is she into you? No. It might have just been a mistake. Maybe she's Canadian. She's just being nice. Like, that's all I can think of right now. Except she's German. I don't really get it. Could you say it again using simpler, more direct words?
単純な単語。
I thought it was kind of rude of me to ask that, but instead of getting mad, she begins to seriously think it over. She's probably searching for the right words in her head now. Hopefully I'll be able to have a real conversation this time. As I'm thinking to myself, Heidi finally comes up with the appropriate phrase and surprisingly nonchalantly
愛
states,
してる。
Oh! Okay. Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's as simple as you could have been. I like how she said this confidently, though, and wouldn't say that I just value you kind of thing. Like, that was like, oh no, but I could say I love you. I didn't mishear that, right? Heidi looks serious and won't look away from me. That wasn't a mistake, right?
愛しています。
Freaking... Gosh dang, thank you. Finally, I like that she finally got to this point and then just outright says it and then doubles down like, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I'm saying. I'm so tired of freaking love interests being like, oh, I don't know if I like you, you know, I might. It's like, no, just say it if you do. Like, just be upfront. I love when they just do that. With me?
いや、if we did あなたを愛しています。
Okay, wow. That's how you know she's serious. She starts getting into German. Her eyes are unwavering. She looks straight at me with a sincere expression. I can't look away, or rather, I feel like I really shouldn't. What was the mistake before then?
大切だというありきたりの言葉では私の素直な気持ちを表すのに足りないと思ったの。
I don't think it could have fully encapsulated, but I don't think it was wrong to say that he's important to you. I think if you love someone, of course they're going to be important to you.
あなたは私のことが嫌い？
Now we have to see, has Koga gotten to a point where he really can accept her feelings and return them? Or is this going to be like some of the other routes we've had so far where he kind of just like, I need to think about this, you know, I need to think about if I like you. I kind of have a feeling he's going to just return her feelings. I think he's already started noticing that he enjoys being around her, but it could go either way. My heart suddenly starts beating faster. While we're staring at each other, I realized that the reason she couldn't move was one that affected me as well. It's also the same when I couldn't let go of her hand and when I was frustrated that I had to rely on Louie. Once I realized that, my chest grows warm. No, I don't dislike you.
よかった。
Even though I was still embarrassed and couldn't give a clear answer, Heidi beams joyfully. And I know you guys have kind of had to explain this to me, but like when you're talking about disliking somebody, you know, it's a little bit different, I guess, than I would think in English. Like if I say I don't dislike somebody, it just means, you know, I can get along with them well enough. But like saying you don't dislike somebody, I'm imagining in Japanese is like, oh, well, if you don't dislike them, you must like them then. So I would think it means kind of the opposite thing. I could be wrong on that though. I think in this context, him saying that he doesn't dislike her means that he's willing to see if he returns her feelings.
嬉しいわ、コガ。あなたも私と同じ気持ちでいてくれて。
Yeah, yeah.
あなたが好き。そうよ。私はあなたから離れたくなかったの。だからミストが出てこなければいいのになんて思ってしまったんだわ。あなたと一緒に1秒でも長く同じ場所にいたかったの。
Wow, so she confessed and now she's talking like perfect Japanese. No stuttering. When I see Heidi so genuinely happy, I feel disappointed in myself for not being able to give a straight answer. But I do have to make sure she doesn't get the wrong idea about something.
もちろんよ。あまり長い間本国を留守にするわけにもいきませんし、バインベルガーの家のすべてを守り導くのが私の役目ですから。誰だって家族は大切でしょ。
Heidi.
何？
Well, to be honest, I don't want the mist to appear either. I didn't want you to go back to Germany.
本当にそんな風に思ってもらえるなんて嬉しいわ。
But you do have to go back eventually, right? There's no getting out of it. Heidi's cheeriness wanes a bit. Her face is no longer that of a childish teenage girl.
私はバインベルガーの当主だもの。
I know, so when that time comes, I won't try to stop you. It'll be lonely,
そ
though.
んなの古賀が寂しがってくれるだけで十分よ。
Just like how you treasure the Weinbergers, I treasure my family as well. So even if you asked me to go to Germany with you, I probably wouldn't be able to go. Is that fine with you? Even if I make that decision, will you still say you love
どうし
me?
て？
Unlike before, Heidi's face is neither flustered nor
私
confused.
がバインベルガーのためにドイツに帰るのも、あなたが家族のために日本に残るのも同じことでしょ？
Yeah, they are the same thing, pretty much, right? But I think like there's this idea that they're going to be separated, and if they're both wanting to cling to their families, which, you know, is a reasonable thing, it's going to be hard to be together if they're in two different places.
その選択をしたことで、私があなたのことを嫌いになるわけがないわ。私からも質問していい？仮に離れ離れになって遠くに離れたとしても、私はどこにいてもあなたを愛するわ。あなたは私のことを愛してくれる？
Heidi asked me that without a moment's hesitation. I think it was times like this when her inner strength shows through that attracted me to her. Yeah.
ありがとう。それで十分よ、コガ。
She immediately springs towards me, overcome with emotion, but her heel bends in a direction it shouldn't, perhaps because she used too much force. Seeing her lose her balance, I rush over to try to stop her from falling, but I can't break the momentum. I don't need to guess what's going on. I really don't. Are we gonna have a face full of boobs? Just when I was thinking that this fall felt too soft and pleasant. This is bad in a lot of ways. Heidi's voluptuous chest is right in front of my eyes, or rather my face is lodged in her cleavage. Her breasts are so large and soft, unlike anything I've ever felt before. This is just so unfair. Feels so nice, I don't want to move. I think I've lost this chest. No, this is... Wait, calm down, Heidi, it wasn't on purpose. Heidi starts screaming the moment she realizes that my face is in her cleavage. Well, sure, this scenario is hopeless. If someone walks by me right now, I'll be labeled a pervert again. Fortunately, no one happened upon the scene, but it took some time for Heidi to regain her composure. Yeah, that was a scene. Yep. I knew it had to be something with boobs. It was either a hand or his face, and I was right. She finally managed to calm down, but it must have been unpleasant for her because she's still embarrassed. Despite the awkward silence, I did manage to escort her back to her room, but I can't forget the feelings of her breasts, and now I can't relax. I glance at her and my eyes can't help but gravitate towards her chest. No, I have to forget about her chest for the time being. He's like, focus, focus! Although it felt so good, I can't really forget. Tadaima.
おや、
Oh yeah. Hello. When we reach her room, Louie is waiting inside. Heidi and I are both incapable of facing him for some reason. He looks back and forth between us. I feel really uneasy. Maybe I should leave now. We're here now, so I'll be on my way.
お待ちください。少しお話があります。
Uh-oh.
私もルイに話さなければいけないことがあるの。
Louie stops her and I try to leave. When I turn back in surprise, Heidi timidly speaks up. Since both of them are stopping me, I have no choice but to straighten my posture and wait. We do a lot of waiting in this, relationship now. I guess it was more of a friendship before, and now it's a relationship.
私の気持ちは古賀にちゃんと伝わって受け入れてもらえたわ。
本当ですか。それはよかった。フラウ。
Louie smiles when he hears what Heidi has to say. It must have been an unexpectedly positive response because Heidi seems
フラウ
moved.
が古賀について悩み、思い患っていたことは私もよく存じ上げております。その気持ちが報われて本当によかった。
This is surprisingly positive from him.
あなたには迷惑ばかりかけてしまったけれど。
いいえ、それも今となってはフラウが自分の気持ちを整頓するために必要なことだったのだと存じます。
そうね。あなたがいなければ私はきちんと自分の思いを受け止められなかったわ。
Hearing them talk like this, I can tell that Louie was worried about her as well. Heidi told me that Louie had been with her ever since they were children. He may have bullied her all the time, but this was surely his form of affection. I'm quietly watching the two of them. Louie suddenly turns to me with a serious look
と
on
ころ
his
で
face.
古賀、大切なフラウをお任せするにあたって私から心に留めておいてほしいことがあります。
Okay. This is Heidi's butler who cares deeply for her, so I need to hear him out. I nod, straighten my back again, and brace
ほんの些
myself.
細な願い事ですが、お聞きいただけますか。
Of course. Louie seems satisfied with my response and smiles. He then looks at me with utter seriousness and slowly walks closer. And then with a face that seems to be testing me, he
お
says,
前、勃起不全じゃないだろうな。
What? What did he just say? Did I hear that right?
日本語が理解できなかったか。
No. There isn't even a hint of his earlier smile. His former manner of speaking is gone too.
陰茎はきちんと勃起するのかと聞いている。
What?
ちょっと
Hello?
お前は黙っていろ、アーデルハイト。
What? I tries to speak up and shut down immediately by mysterious
さて、
force.
もう一度しっかりと聞いた方がいいか。お前のそれは使い物に。
Okay, I think he's asking because obviously they needed to continue the family, right? Like that's his worry, right? Like I need to know if you can do that, if you can have children. I think that's what he's trying to get at. But who asks that? Who just says, "Do you have erectile dysfunction?" Does it work down there? Wait, stop. I get
で
it.
はさっさと答えろ。
It's fine, but I know it's a ridiculous question, but because of this mysterious force, all I can do is answer obediently. Louie's expression finally softens and he nods several times.
よし、それじゃあ否認はするなよ。
I know. We have the same exact response right now. Koga, I understand how you're feeling. I'm like, what the hell did you just say? I can't follow where this conversation is going. Heidi has also gone stiff as a rock. Well, at least we know that Koga can go stiff as a rock
お
too.
前に要求することはたった一つだけだ。いいか。このバカをとっととはらませろ。絶対にはらませろ。
You absolutely must.
あと一人では意味がないからな。最低でも3人は産ませろ。できれば5人くらいが望ましいが、まあ贅沢は言わん。3人でいい。
What? Louie's eyes are fixed on me. This is just so out of left field for Louie. I just didn't expect this. Not sure what's going on here, if I can tell he's serious. And that's the thing that's great, is he is serious about this. I understand what you're saying, but I have no idea what you're trying to get at. If I managed to say that, Louie replies with a scoff.
実に単純なことだ。アーデルハイトが産んだ子供を一人二人養子にもらいたいだけだ。
Wait,
その
what?
ためにはお前に努力してもらわねばな。
You want to adopt her children? What? This is just getting worse.
ちょっと待って。何それ、今初めて聞いたんだけど。
Hey, yo, wait, what? Heidi had been listening to Louie from Alpha Game, and now it's gone too far. Of course, this would raise her voice. Or it's gotten this far. Or the butler's attitude doesn't change a little bit, as he expected that reaction all
お
along.
前の産んだ子なら血統は正当だ。あの小うるさい本家の老人どもも納得するだろう。ああ、これで俺は後取り問題でギャーギャー言われることもなくなるというわけだ。まったく素晴らしいな。
What?
だってルイ。
かつてお前がここまで俺の役に立ったことなどなかったぞ、アーデルハイト。しっかり子作りに励め。
Louie slaps Heidi on the shoulder while sounding more enthusiastic than I've ever seen him before. Looks like I'm not alone in thinking he's gone way overboard. Agitated, Heidi loudly reprimands him.
待ってよ。何なのその勝手な言い分は。まだ私ははいともやるとも言ってないわよ。
Upon Heidi's rejection of the idea, Louie's excited expression quickly fades. He then draws closer to
じゃ
her.
あなんだ。お前は俺に自分で跡取りを産めとでも言うのか。
Yeah, produce your own. What the frick? Don't just ask to borrow someone's kids. Yeah, can you have 5 so I can have 2 of them and you guys can have the other 3? Like, what the hell are you asking? Heidi suddenly flinches as though what he said has hit a
ど
nerve.
こぞの男相手に股を開けと。死んでもごめんだな。そんなことになったら俺は舌を噛む。
Okay, he's admitting that he's a girl. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah?
お前が何でも相談しろ、力になると俺に言ったのは何だったんだ。その場のノリか。俺が嫌だと思うことはしなくていいと言ったな。
Holy shit, this episode went from like good, and then the confession happened and went to really good. And then everything that's happened here, top tier. So good.
それともそんな誓いをしたこともきれいさっぱり忘れたか。はあ、そんな儚い過去の約束を今日までバカ正直に信じていたとは、俺はなんて不幸な。
A childhood promise.
わかった。わかりました。確かに言ったわよ。もう好きにすればいいでしょ。
わかればいい。
Louie nods, satisfied in response to Heidi's teary, half-desperate pleading. This isn't something I can understand, but it seems Heidi lost an internal family feud. Also judging from that conversation.
さて、それでは邪魔者は席を外すことにいたします。ご検討を。
I wish you success. My brain can't keep up with this roller coaster of events. Worse yet, Louie seemed content with the whole thing and leaves the room right away. Now it's just me and Heidi in the guest room. There's a lot going on here. This was the most conversation of all conversations. Yeah, that would be my response too. I'd be like, what? This is awkward. What are we supposed to talk about after that? I mean, there was certainly a lot to talk about. Heidi looks embarrassed too.
ごめんなさい。なんだか。
Ah, no. Not sure how to respond to her apology, and she seemed troubled as well. Can I ask you a simple question?
どうぞ。
Is that butler female all along?
ええ。
Ah, I'm so happy I realized it right away. I'm so happy. I love being right. Is that bad? I like being right when I guess about things that are going on, because it's not often. So when it actually does happen, it's very exciting. Are you okay with that crazy demand? I mean, not that I feel like it was incredibly hard to tell that Louie was actually a girl. I'm just glad that it was true. I look somewhat pained by the question. However, her uncertainty quickly vanishes and she looks me straight in
いい
the
の
eye.
よ。私はルイが男の人を嫌いな理由も知っているし、その気持ちもよくわかっているから。
Heidi. I don't know what happened between the two of them. However, I can tell from looking at Heidi that she looks like she has absolute trust in Louie and acts with Louie's needs in mind. I can't help but feel a bit jealous, and it turned out that the butler was a woman anyway,
ルイに
so...
は私のできうる限り力になると確かに約束したの。だからその
It is pretty crazy that Louie's a girl. That would be interesting if, like, so there's an Adelheid route, and then, like, there's a Louie route. Like if we just went, like, the complete opposite. We just went for the butler, you know? Heidi was really serious in that conversation, but now she's looking at me sheepishly. Is she propositioning me? No, I'm not gonna... My eyes involuntarily gravitate towards her chest when I see those large blood pressures. I just can't stay calm. What? I've been paying too much attention to them ever since, though, and I'm starting to hate myself. Besides, for someone like Heidi who reacted so strongly just to having her forehead touched, they would be too huge of a leap. It's way too early anyway, so I'm gonna have her lowering those breasts are.
どうかしたの？
I like how we had a whole entire flashback of just boobs. Like, what is even going on? Nothing at all. Yeah. Heidi looks puzzled as to why I'm so deep in thought. When she tilts her head to the side, her breasts wobble ever so slightly. My eyes are drawn there again. Wow. I don't think I should stay here any longer. Let's go back. Well then, I'm going back to my room now. Huh?
もう帰ってしまうの？
Heidi suddenly makes a dejected face like that of an abandoned puppy. I can't leave when she's making that kind of face. Plus, those are dangerous words to hear after what just happened. I might be overthinking this, but it's serious. After some deliberating, I finally decided to see what Heidi herself wants. I can't quite tell what she's thinking after all, so I should get a straight answer from her. Let me ask you first, are you still going to make me stay after the conversation we just had? I look her straight in the eyes and ask, but she doesn't seem to understand what I mean. Do you know how I'll interpret it if you tell me not to go? Heidi tilts her head up against the think. After some time, her face finally turns bright red.
私そんなつもりじゃ。
That's what I thought. Your action says everything. I feel relieved when I see her shaking her head fervently. I was overthinking it after all. It's too soon for someone like her. I want to keep watching her panic like this because it's adorable, but I really should go back soon. Sorry for saying something weird.
違います。せっかく思いが通じたのに帰るなんて。もう少し一緒にいたいなって思っていただけで。
I don't know. I just think it's a little awkward to stay after, you know, we just had this conversation about your butler wanting 2 of our kids and asking if I'm okay down there and then telling us to start having children right away.
だからって言ったのも、ルイのこと嫌いにならないでねって思っていただけで。あなたに見とれていたのは認めます。でも別にいやらしい目で見ていたわけではないの。
Your butler certainly was. Heidi is totally flustered. Probably isn't aware of it herself, but she gave me an honest confession just now of her own volition. Okay, I understand. I thought it was a bit too soon for that, too.
そうよね。私もそう思うわ。もう、まったくルイったら気が早いんだから。
Well, I'm a guy after all, so that kind of thing doesn't bother me. You still need time to mentally prepare for it, so tonight I'll just
ちょ
go.
っと待って。その物言いは何？
Okay, somebody's a little bit demanding. She suddenly interrupts me and I turn to face her. She glares at me with a stern face as though her pride had been
聞
damaged.
き捨てなりません。その言い方だとまるで私に覚悟がないようではありませんか。心の準備ですって？そんなものあなたを好きだと言った瞬間からできています。
Oh, is that so? It wasn't until she rushed up to me that I realized I'd struck a nerve. I instinctively draw back, but she immediately closes the gap between us again. I guess the fragrant scent of what I assume is the perfume she's
なぜ逃げ
wearing.
るの？ちゃんと私の言うことを聞いているの？ね
I am. I was just trying to imply that you weren't prepared. I'm just hungry. Wasn't trying to imply that you weren't prepared. I'm just hungry, so please let me go.
なぜそうやって今にも帰ろうとするの？
I would love if this route just ends and he doesn't get together with her because she just thinks that she's really crazy. Like, oh, she wants to have 5 kids. She wants to give away 2 of them. She sprays me with her piss and it somehow like knocks me out and transfers my body. I wonder if he's just like putting everything together. But he's like, all of that aside, she's got 2 big boobs. Is it worth it? Look, it's already late. We can continue this tomorrow. I take another step back. Again, Heidi closes the
明日
gap.
でなくても私は今すぐにでもあなたに体を捧げる覚悟はあります。
And I'm thrilled to hear that, but don't say that
どう
right
し
now.
てよ。
Heidi looks like she's about to pounce on me. The blood is rushing to her head. I get the feeling that she's only been saying these things because of the adrenaline. I should bring this to a halt, even if it means having to give her a
どうし
scare.
て黙っているの？なんとか言ったらどうなんです？
I feel like we're on the train right now, and the brakes are just gone. Like, we lost the brakes like a few miles back, and we're just kind of going, and we're like, oh, wonder when this thing stops. Oh, she's infuriated. I forcefully pull her body to me. Ooh. We got the kiss. Let's go. I lightly kiss her on the lips and release her right after. When I let go of her, she goes stiff as a board. She then sinks down to the floor, her face so red that I can't help but wonder if steam is going to come out of her ears. It looks like she wants to say something, but I can't understand anything coming out of her mouth. It's hard to believe that she said she was meant to be prepared a minute ago. Yeah, I'm like, if you're freaking out that much over a kiss, you're not ready. It really was just the adrenaline talking. You're already like this for just a kiss, there's even more to come, you know? Ooh, Koga. Jessie tries to regain her composure and looks up at me. Her face is still bright red, and I feel like it gets redder the more I stare at her.
平気よ。
That has to be a lie. I'm impressed that she's able to say that in spite of everything. As though sensing my thoughts, Heidi glares at me offended.
証明してみせます。もう一度してみてくださる？今度は平気だから。
Oh yeah, we could try it again, I guess. Take Heidi's hands and help her to her feet. I then pull her to me and our lips touch again. It's another light, fleeting kiss. The moment I feel her soft lips, I move away and gaze at her. Heidi also opens her eyes and looks at me. I can see my reflection in her eyes. That's romantic. I love whenever they say that. I can see my reflection in her eyes. Very romantic. Just as she proclaimed, she was well enough to remain standing, although her cheeks are still flushed. It was a total blunder on my part. I wasn't supposed to give in to her taunts. What a weird mood this has
ほ
become.
ら、大丈夫でしょ？
I hate to tell you this was a weird mood like a long time ago. I can tell.
じゃあ、
You know that's not what I meant, right? Heidi looks downcast. Seeing that that face stirs me up more, but she wouldn't be aware of
俺
that.
はそうだけど。
Honestly, I do want to do it,
した
but
い。
Heidi looks at me expectantly. She probably wants me to continue, but it's really embarrassing. I don't want to say it if I don't have to, but I think it's the only way she'll let up. Doing it soon would mean I'm not treasuring you like I should. I don't like the idea of giving in to lust. Heidi tilts her head, looking unexpectedly confused.
私は大事にしてもらっていないなんて思わないわ。それに、欲に負けたってあなたは言うけれど。
Heidi slowly extends her hand towards me. She then touches my lips with her slender fingertips. It's so casual on her part, it makes my heart
こうやって
race.
愛する人と触れ合える誘惑に抗えないのは当然のことよ。だって今の私がそうだもの。私またおかしなことを言ってる？
No. I've lost. There's no way I can hold back anymore when she's pouring her feelings out to me. I pull Heidi closer and kiss her again. Okay, we'll continue on from here. Well, I'm gonna end the episode anyways, but yeah, I just cut from a lot of that stuff because there's a lot of stuff going on. Anyways, you guys, this is actually overall a really fantastic episode. I really hope you guys agree with me when I say that because I think there was a lot of good stuff going on here. Finally got a confession. We got some really funny scenes of Louie. Finally found out Louie's a girl, which I was so happy to hear because I'm like, I really hope I'm not wrong about this. but I was right, so I'm happy. And some of you guys, I think, guessed the same thing as well, so good job for us. Anyways, though, I mean, a lot going on. Finally are getting into Adelheid's route here. And they did the big deed, okay? They did it multiple times. I'm just like trying to skip through and I'm like, oh, it just keeps going. It really does. That's the long H scene, which, you know, if that's what you're looking for, then great, because it's there. Anyways, we're gonna end the video here, though, you guys. I'm really enjoying Adelheid's route so far, though. I really think that she's probably one of the best protagonists we've had, or as far as love interests go. I'm really enjoying getting to like to know her, and I think it's great that they're finally like confessed to each other, and I want to see where the rest of it goes. So I just hope it's better than the first game. I feel like the first game kind of I don't know. I feel like the love. Okay, how do I want to word this? I feel like the routes could have been a little bit better as far as, you know, like the confessions and all that goes, and like what they kind of did afterwards. So I'm hoping it only gets better from that. But anyways, I'll just go ahead and end it here. I'll stop rambling, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.